With the Spice and Wolf remake right around the corner, I'm not really sure where my expectations are right now. On the one hand, the remake of a classic is something to be excited about because of the potential of the series as a whole, but there's always the jeopardy of the studio getting it completely and utterly wrong, and I'm not sure I fully trust Studio Passion to make this a success. So with that being said, let's get into 5 things that Studio Passion need to do with the upcoming remake. Number 1, it gets a full adaptation. One of the big criticisms of the original series was that it didn't get fully adapted. They adapted volumes 1, 2, 3 and 5 and basically skipped volume 4 altogether, and maybe there was a reason for this that I don't know, but to skip an entire volume so early on is a little puzzling. And as I just alluded to, they adapted 4 volumes in 2 12-episode seasons. Bearing in mind that as of today there are a total of 24 volumes, we can see that we're barely scratching the surface of the series as a whole, and this could mean a couple of things. If they actually plan to catch up with the light novel, they'll either have to plan for many further seasons in the future and we get something ridiculous like 10 seasons over the next 10 years, but the other option is that they go to faster pace than the original series. So instead of adapting 2 volumes per season, maybe they try to cram 3 or even 4 volumes into each season, which I think would be a bit of a shame because the pacing of the original series felt really nice. This is assuming, of course, that the remake is going to be 12 episodes, but you never know, it might be a 2-core thing. And the final option is that they just make a couple of seasons, rake in the money, and leave it at that like they did with the original series, which, again, would be a shame. But who knows what Studio Passion are going to do? We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. And if Studio Passion want to go full hog on the franchise as a whole, there's always the possibility of adapting the spin-off series to Spice and Wolf, which is Wolf and Parchment, but they need to get this one right before they even think about spin-offs. Number 2, solid music. Music can really affect a series. I don't think having an average soundtrack is a big deal, it just means the music is kind of there and doesn't do much. But if you have a really good soundtrack, it adds something to the series. It makes your experience of the anime more immersive and memorable with good music. So this time they have Kevin Penkin, who has worked on the likes of The Rising of the Shield Hero, Made in Abyss, Tower of God, and more recently The Apothecary Diaries. So it seems like we're in a safe pair of hands on that front, hopefully. Number 3, don't make it ecchi, Studio Passion. If you look at Studio Passion's history of the kind of anime they like to make, they do a lot of ecchi stuff, and one of the biggest fears that I've seen online is that they will overly sexualise Holo. I think the good news on this front is that the director who worked on the original series is also working on the remake because he happens to work at Studio Passion, and I mean, you never know, that might not mean much and he might decide to go down the ecchi route, but I think if he has any sense he will stick to what he did with her in the original series. Number 4, match the vibe. I think a lot of you will know what I mean when I say the original series had a certain vibe to it. It could be quite light-hearted and fun in places, but when things started happening it could also get quite dark and intense, and I think the old art style really showcased these feelings well. With the new art style and improved animation, can they capture the vibe from before, or will they deliberately go for a different kind of vibe altogether? We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Number 5, capture Holo's charm. This one's a big one for me. Holo is charming as a character. She has the maturity of a deity, and yet when interacting with Lawrence she could be playful, seductive and cheeky. So I really hope they can capture the essence of her character with the new art style as well as her relationship with Lawrence, because it's their interactions that really made the series what it was. So let me know your feelings on the remake. What have you thought about the trailers they've released so far, and what are your expectations, because I don't quite know where mine are right now. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you later.